Welcome to Cop a Feeling, where we dive deep into feeling all of the feelings. I'm Jess, and here we explore spiritual growth, personal development, yoga, meditation, and everything that helps you connect with your true self. Join me as we embrace the journey one feeling at a time. Hello. Welcome back to Cop a Feeling, where we feel all of the feelings and dive deep into the tools that we can utilize to live our best, most aligned life. I am Jess, and I am so glad that you are here with me today. We are talking affirmations. What they are, why they work, and maybe why they don't work. Because here's the thing, not all affirmations are created equal, which is why sometimes we find a really powerful affirmation or phrase and we see transformation with it, and other times not so much. It kind of feels like wishing upon a star. So today we are going to craft and find out exactly what affirmations work for us, how to craft the perfect one for us that truly resonates and gets us the results and transformation that we are looking for. So stick around, you won't want to miss this. Affirmations aren't just words that we say and then poof, like magic, we have everything that we desire. There's actual science behind why affirmations, when crafted properly, have that power to manifest, have the power to actually create our desires and dreams. But it's not magic, it's science. And so part of that is the ability to use and craft our words to reprogram our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is gathering all of this information and processing it and creating what we're experiencing or how we're understanding our environment. And the cool thing about our subconscious is that it doesn't differentiate between our external experiences and the information we're getting from the outside world and the information that we're putting into it from that internal space. So our thoughts and what we're thinking. It's just all data that it's collecting. And so because of that, you have the ability to take those words and beliefs and reprogram what's already been laid down. So if we think about our subconscious as a record, and if you're not sure what a record is, it's cool. You can find out what that is. It's an old time way to listen to music, but it's done with grooves, and that's how you would hear the sound. So our brain has created grooves. The way that we think repeatedly has created that inlay. And so that's how we continue to think. But we don't have to stay on that same track. So we can use our ability to create those affirmations to rewire our brain and to create a new groove. The problem comes in when we don't actually believe what we're trying to program into our subconscious. And so if you're trying to create that new groove, that new programming, but you don't actually believe what you're putting in there, then your brain's going to revert back to that old programming, that groove that you have dug deep, right? It's there, it's entrenched. And so there's a way to, when you're bringing in those new thoughts, to make them stick, to start to rewire and to create those new grooves. And that's what's really cool about creating affirmations that are really true and authentic to you, and ones that your subconscious will believe where you are in this space and will start to bring that transformation. So, very kind of basic overlay of the science. I highly, highly recommend, if you want to dive deeper into the science and understand the subconscious more, and to look into Dr. Joe Dispenza's work or Dr. Jim Doty's work. Both of them have a large repertoire on the science behind our subconscious and bringing into manifestation our desires. So you can follow them, check out their work. But I want to talk about three kind of aspects to crafting an affirmation that's actually going to bring you that transformation that you're looking for. Okay, so three keys to crafting that perfect affirmation. Okay, so 3 steps to crafting the perfect affirmation. So you want to start with the affirmation, the intention, being in the present tense and being positive. So one of the things our subconscious doesn't recognize is negative. So if you say, I don't want to be poor, your brain is processing that as, I want to be poor, right? It doesn't understand the negative. It only understands the fact that you are focusing on lack instead of abundance. So keeping it present and positive. You also want to bring that feeling of it here and now, which is that present part, instead of future casting. So instead of I want to be wealthy, I am wealthy. Because if you're repeatedly saying to yourself, I want to be, it means that you are not that in this moment. And that's what you'll continue to focus on and what will continue to come into your sphere. But if you're saying, I am wealthy, and you're focusing on what you are and what you have, then you'll continue to draw more of that into your realm. So present and positive. And next, you want to make it believable. So this is sometimes where we can get into that space of it becoming that wishful thinking instead of a tool for transformation. So if we're talking about wealth and what we want and what we desire, and we're making $1,000 in a business that we started or a side hustle, and we want to be a millionaire, there's a disconnect between where we're at and what we're saying. And so if we don't actually believe that we can be a millionaire or that our business is going to generate $1 million in revenue, then we're not believing it, and it becomes that wishful thinking. So we need to find phrasing that allows us to actually believe what we're saying. So maybe instead of putting an actual dollar amount on what you're calling in or where you want to be, maybe you're in a space where you can believe that you are open to financial abundance and opportunities. And so when you say that, when you say those words versus I want to be a millionaire or I am a millionaire, if I'm repeating I am a millionaire, I don't believe that. I'm not in a space where I can process being at that level yet. And so I'm just repeating words and it becomes wishful thinking. But I absolutely believe in financial abundance, and opportunities are always coming to me. Always coming to me. So those words I feel and can get behind, which creates the transformation. So making your affirmation, your words believable. And the next is attaching emotion. And I feel like making it believable and attaching emotion kind of go hand in hand, because when it's believable, there's already emotion behind it. The key is when it comes to having those emotions behind what you're saying, sometimes we can have a phrase that's believable but is lacking some of the emotion because it's kind of boring or it's kind of vague. So another avenue is health. And if you're saying, I'm healthy, well, that's great. It's positive, it's present, it's believable, but it kind of lacks emotion. And it will start to lack even more emotion when you're constantly repeating it, which is part of the power and how you create that rewiring in your subconscious is the repetition. So if you're constantly saying, I am healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, it becomes white noise, but it becomes white noise that is lacking that emphasis and that feeling. So expanding upon that affirmation or that phrase. So instead of just saying, I'm healthy, I am vibrant and alive in my health, strong in my body, clear in my thoughts. It still encompasses that more generic, I'm healthy, but there's more emotion attached to it. And the more you repeat it, the more emotion comes behind it. I'm vibrant. I'm alive. I'm healthy and strong in my body and clear in my thoughts. So having that conviction behind the words that you're repeating is where that transformation is really going to happen. And when we pull it all together, so it's not just having our power phrase here. It's about being able to find that repetition using all of our senses to start that rewiring process in our subconscious. So taking an pen to paper, so not typing, but physical pen to paper, and writing down your affirmation. And don't just write it down once, 3, 5, 10, fill up a page of paper with your affirmation. Writing it down, writing it down, writing it down. And then taking and silently reading that affirmation. Reading it as many times as you wrote it down. Reading and reading. Feel the inflection changing in your head as you continue to read it silently. And then bring your voice into it. Speak the words into existence. So speaking the affirmation out loud, speaking it as many times as you wrote it, as many times as you read it silently, hearing your voice, the resonance of your voice saying what you are bringing into existence. And then allowing yourself to go inward. Close the eyes, visualize what that affirmation feels like, how it shows up in your body, in your experience. What does that transformation feel like? And this is how we begin that rewiring process. So that's the science behind why affirmations are so powerful and create that transformation, but also why sometimes they don't. Why sometimes it does feel like we're just wishing on a star or empty words. I want to leave you with one more invitation as it comes to affirmations, and that is to start narrow. And what I mean by that is when we're working towards transformation and we want to see all of these different things manifest and come into existence, we absolutely can transform our entire life. But sometimes what happens is we get scattered and our focus goes all over the place. And one minute it's focused on our health, and the next minute it's on our finances, and then it's focused on material things or our internal peace. And our brain is still trying to, it's not trying, it is pulling all of that information in. But instead of our new grooves getting nice and deep and solidified, they're surface level grooves because we haven't gone deep on one piece. So that's what I mean by narrow, is choosing one focal point to start with. Whether that's your health, your money, finances, maybe it's relationships, maybe it's one specific relationship or one specific health goal. Pick one thing to focus on. Start to cultivate that habit of creating powerful, transformative affirmations. Go through the process of writing down and reading and visualizing in that one focused area. And when you start to see your mindset shift, when you start to see your life come into alignment and the transformation happen, then allow yourself to go wide, to move into those other areas, because you've cultivated the habit and you understand how to gain that transformation through your words. So start narrow and then go wide. As always, I hope that you found value in this. I would love if you put in the comments your affirmation, what you are transforming in your life so that I can support you. Subscribe to Cop of Feeling, hit that notification bell so you know when all of the new episodes land, and continue to feel it all. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for tuning into Cop of Feeling. If you loved this episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share it with someone you think will love it too. I'll see you next time as we keep exploring all of the feels. But until then, stay connected to your heart and keep feeling it all.